Hello, everyone. Welcome back to FPL Jedi Show. This is Gameweek 4 pod. My name is Hafiz, and with me, my co-host, I welcome back Azmin to the midweek show. How are you? How's your feeling for Game Week 3 results?
Okay, I'm not unhappy. I guess it turned out better than I thought it would. After the first after Saturday, I thought I was going to be really collapsing, but then I did. I was barely there. And before we start, I just want to apologize for abandoning you during the deadline stream halfway. So, but yeah, thanks for carrying on. So yeah.
All right. We are good after Game 3. We definitely weren't going to discuss because a lot of managers will suffer from, especially you have big at the back, especially when you have the likes of double up on Man City defense, or maybe Chelsea defense also, and Liverpool defense, definitely. So, but that's how the FPL goes. The Game Week 3 is all about uh, the midfields and the strikers. The defender does not really perform, but it could change. The complexion could be changed in Game Week 4 straight away.
Yeah.
So let's have a look at our talking points for this week. Where the first one, we definitely gonna run through our Game Week 3 team review, how we perform, okay, and then match analysis for the 10 games that play in Game Week 3. We definitely gonna talk a bit on the fixture congestion, okay.
Yep.
The time has come where we're going to have back-to-back game in midweek until the Game Week 16. So we're going to touch that. Number 4, this is Azmin topic that he wants to discuss.
Yeah.
What to do with Liverpool players? Is it time to keep or is it time to dump them? Okay. Then we run through Game Week 4 fixture, our normal captain pick, and then what we're going to do for this Game Week 4 transfer plan. All right. So would like to welcome Halim Rahman. Hi guys. How are you? We are fine. Thank you for joining the stream. All right, man. Why not you run through your team? You scored better than me this week.
Okay, so it's a quick drop in rank, only, but I don't think it makes much difference at this point in time. So Henderson, wrong keeper kick. But of course, who would have thought Brighton would still keep a clean sheet? West Ham failing to score again. This time, West Ham were playing at home, so something to look at where Brighton is concerned. Where Brighton is gonna look, starting to look really, really attractive and solid. Okay, then you have TAA, who with a 0, one of the many big gun defenders who scored 0. Williams was also, thought we'd be keeping a clean sheet, but conceded to Everton, together with Henderson. James only 1 point. I think he was mostly playing at right centre back this time around. Bit of a disappointment there. Gumares. So I had to field a Newcastle player, and I decided on Gumares instead of Trippier, whom I benched. So that was the wrong call. But that set piece was lovely. But again, it was a tough going either way, so I'm not too fussed about it. KDB had an assist, so just about there. With I think Haaland scored 6, really.
Yeah.
So okay, so not much difference there. Martinelli, Mr. Consistency. His price is getting higher and higher. So which kind of tells you that he was underpriced at the start of the season, and he's just going to keep on climbing. I think it's almost 6.5 now.
6.4. Yep, 6.4.
Yeah, 6.4. So maybe by the end of this week, it'll go up to 6.5. Salah managed a consolidation goal. Very frustrating as a Liverpool fan, but it was a well-deserved win by Manchester United. Liverpool were not in the game. They were just, they did not have the same desire that Liverpool did. Then we'll talk about more later. Bailey kept my faith, and he returned with an assist, even though Villa ended up collapsing again. So again, which makes you worry about what Gerrard will do. Tony. So I had 2 transfers this week because my two strikers, which was Bamford and Darwin, were out of commission, so I needed replacements. So I went for Tony, and Jesus, and both of them paid off. So I'm pretty happy there. Jesus, of course, following the template pick which everyone had and I didn't. It didn't return a lot, but it's fine. And that's it. And then my bench: Patterson, Trippier, unfortunately, and Greenwood there.
All right. So as you mentioned, Jesus is now owned by 81.6% manager. I mean, I can't recall this kind of ownership. Even Salah does not surpass this from the previous season.
Exactly. Yeah, it just comes back to the way that Arsenal are playing. They look pretty confident, pretty. I mean, and also it's a relatively young squad compared to what they've had before. So hopefully they've had more experience this time and can be, will last longer and not fade away like they did like they've been doing in previous seasons.
Okay. If you can me, I envy your Tony. You have Tony. I do not have room and money for him. And we mentioned on the Brentford fixture, I think Tony is the one set and forget. I can tell you that. And you could easily have better points if Forest kept a clean sheet. Everton scored a bit late in the game. You could easily got Henderson and Nico Williams clean sheet points. Yep.
Yeah, that was frustrating too. Sadly, I was rooting for that. I was watching and waiting, and concede. Oh well.
And I would like to praise that a lot of managers actually taken out Bailey, okay, because of benching in game week 2. You keep faith, and he deliver you an assist. So I think that's kudos to you, definitely.
Well, to be fair, it was my transfers were forced because of Brentford getting injured and Darwin getting sent off. So I had to prioritize that. I got lucky.
Yeah. So are you trying to say me he's the next one to be out lah?
Yes.
Okay, we'll run through our transfer plan later. For my team, I scored lower than Azmin. I got 45 points. And I saw the average point for game week 3 is actually 48 points. So I scored lower than average points for game week 3. As we can see here, my rank in game week 2, 46,000, which I try to improve, but it does not meant to be. I dropped now to 192,000 place, still at a good place, but it reminds me how tight we are in terms of point. If I can recall or I see at a live FPL site, my place with the first place is only 60 points away. So it's that tight. So we still have a chance in terms of going up better, but at the same time, if we do not be careful, we could really fall into the millions and millions placing, which like Amajit mentioned last week, he's in the board last week. He's a bit frustrated about your performance, and he's ranked at 5.3 billion, something like that. But it's still early season, right, man?
It's still early season. I mean, and a couple of points can make you jump ranks at the moment because there's so many teams close to each other.
Okay, I touch a bit. Raya only got me 3 points. Brentford lost 3-2. 3 points. I can say that I can't be complaining so much. It could easily be 1 point. Okay, and we can see a binary code at the back of my back 40011. TA Cancelo scored 0. James and Cucurella scored 1 point. And I even read in FPL community that looks like the 0 point means that our bench player will come in. No. If your player played and he did score 0, no bench player will come in to replace them. No. So Salah got 16 points. Okay, everyone have him 8 points. But to be fair, if I see the stats from Premier League, did mention that there's a lot of FPL managers also equally captain Haaland and Jesus. But if you can see here, Salah has the better point when compared to Haaland and Jesus, even though they could actually score more, Haaland and Jesus. And then Luis Diaz, frustrating after 9 points last week. He only scored 2 points. Gross, I brought Gross and Cucurella in for Rashford and Trippier, both actually performing better, if I may say here. Okay, but I think it's logical. My transfer plan last week, Rashford and Manchester doesn't look great form at the moment, but that's how FPL punish us. When you least
Yeah.
expected, they perform when it matters. Okay.
So was it a net loss for you, your transfers then? I
I think
guess.
so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Loss,
Even
yeah,
though I
yeah.
did not take any negative 4 points, but Rashford scored 10 points if I'm not mistaken. And
Yeah.
Trippier got 6 points, 16
Correct.
points over 7. So
Yeah.
9 point loss, something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So that's how is it. But I feel more comfortable now. Going forward, especially with Gross, we touch that later. Martinelli 6 point, Mr. Consistency. He's not going anywhere. If you have Saka and not Martinelli, I think it's an easy switch. Okay. Helen and Jesus up front, no surprise there. But later we touch on the statement by Guardiola in terms of fixture congestion and Haaland position or minutes in terms going forward.
Mm.
Okay. So take a look at Game Week 3 Team of the Week, man. Before we go to the next topic, okay, we can see that the top performer for this week is Arsenal player again. Last week, Jesus with 19 points. And this week's Odegaard with 16 points after his 2 goals against Bournemouth. So what do you think, Min, about Odegaard? Do you feel he also should be in our consideration?
Yeah, the problem with Odegaard is that his underlying stats don't look good for him in terms of his attacking potential. So he performed out, of course, scoring the 2 goals, but I don't expect that to happen regularly. I do think Martinelli is still one of probably the best pick at that price bracket. I think, but Martinelli is slowly rising towards meeting Odegaard's
You
price.
know what? You know what? Martinelli Odegaard is now same price at 6.4.
There you go. Martinelli 6.5 now?
6.4, Odegaard
For
from 6.5 now 6.4.
Oh, because Odegaard dropped.
So
yeah.
they are same price. Yeah. So
Okay,
they are
so,
same
yeah.
price right now.
Yeah, but Saliba, interesting. But the fact that he scored quite a good goal, almost a striker's type goal. But he's become a solid addition to the Arsenal defense. Although granted, he had been there in Arsenal, but now he's getting his chance and he seems to be doing well. So good stuff for Arsenal.
All right. So I touch a bit. Martinez got 10 points. He's the best keeper for the week. He saved a penalty. You'll be surprised that actually Aston Villa lost 3-1. Later we touch. But he still managed to get 10 points. Okay. Saliba, 40 points, like has been mentioned. Arsenal keep clean sheet and he also scored. Perisic is another one. Okay. A lot of managers pick him and some still keep faith with him. He delivered this week with 12 points. Any comment on Perisic, man?
Yeah, so I think in the was it the midweek stream or the deadline stream that I said sell him. But yeah, so credit to those, and I guess I was wrong. But in terms of his potential, looking at the highlights from the match, he definitely has a shot at a good chance of getting points. He takes set pieces, he bombs forward. It's just, I mean, the only thing to that may be an issue is the fact that he's not exactly young. So, but that hasn't stopped him. So yeah, so we'll see how we go, especially in light of the current upcoming fixture congestion. Will he? I mean, will he be rotated or will his minutes be managed instead? Withdrawing early, that kind of thing.
Okay, touch a bit in midfield. The Leeds duo keep continue to producing, main. Harrison 14, Rodrigo 13 points. Definitely we cannot ignore them anymore.
No, and I gotta give props to the coach, the manager, the American guy. So he's he lost 2 of his key players from last season, although granted one kept getting injured, which is Calvin Phillips and Rafinha. Yet somehow, if you look at how they played, it's quite exciting. It's still like the typical leads of attacking, although they do leave gaps at the back, but now the attacking is there's results. It's leading to goals. So well done. And we know that Rodrigo was a frustrating figure. We will consider him, but he was always so inconsistent. But now it seems like he's coming to the party.
Yep. Okay. We touch a bit later on those players. Sam Maximan, man, 13 points. He start showing his quality. Surprisingly, he got 3 assists against Man City. That's something that we need to monitor. Okay.
Yeah, I watched that Manchester City Newcastle match. It was great to see, great fun. I mean, there was a reason I still didn't pick. I still left a Newcastle player. Unfortunately, he did not do anything. But because I'm at the start of the season, I was already really having an eye on Newcastle. It's just I may have gotten better asset than Gomares. So yeah, definitely something to look in the future.
Yep. Okay. Bernardo Silva got 13 points. He remind us how he actually a big player last season to play some part of the season when people are trying to get him. Okay. And then Adams out of nowhere, 12.2 goals against Leicester. We touch a bit on the match later. And Johnson, 9 points. I think Johnson Forest, right? Yep.
Yes, yeah. So Adams, you know, being frozen out, and then suddenly he comes back, and just rocks it. So it'd be interesting to see. So figures, Hasselhoff can't afford to leave him out again.
Yep.
And
And he also
but yeah, but at the end of the day, you check out most of these players are not the typical players that you pick. Even Bernardo Silva, who's supposed to leave, still hasn't left. But then that's a credit to Bernardo Silva's professionalism. I think he's being courted by Barcelona at the moment. But it goes to show, he's such a professional. Even for last season where he was supposed to leave, but he didn't, and then he stayed and he did the job and he did really well. So maybe something to consider as an alternative Manchester City player if he stays on, of course.
okay, fair. I would like to give a shout out to Fatal1TY. Hello from South Africa. Hello, how are you? I'm not sure what the time zone right now there, but thank you for joining this stream, man.
Yeah, well done. Thanks for joining.
Okay. So let's go to the next chapter, which we're going to run through about these 10 matches played in Game Week 3, some key highlights, 5 home wins again, and 3 away wins, okay? And then like 4 clean sheets kept by teams played in Game Week 3. And 32 goals is the highest goal in a single game week from when compared to week 1 and week 2. So teams are start scoring better coming into the season. We touch a bit on game Spurs versus Wolves. I did saw this match, and to be fair, Wolves actually played well in this game and kept Spurs at the bay for much of the game lah. So that I can say. So Wolves is something that still can deliver and play good football, especially the new signing Guindas and Nunes, is it? So they played good in this game, man. What do you think, man?
So I know I didn't watch this match, but how do you feel that Wolves did in attack though? Because they seem to be having uncertainty as to who's going to start.
Yeah. So I can see that they can create chances, especially with Neto and Foden's in the team, but they're lacking the killer instinct lah in front of the goal. Jimenez is still not fully fit to play, but I can see, I think in the midweek, I think League Cup, Jimenez did score the goal. So I think it could be better moving forward. But I know a lot of frustration, especially for owner, the likes of Neto, who after 3 games, he did not deliver. They already get Ichi to replace him. But I feel maybe if there is no other fire to put off, I think he can still be a viable asset, still cheap at 5.5, but there's still competition, other like 5.5 at Gross or other players. So that's another thing. So Spurs keep clean sheet and Scott can produce Perisic. What else to say about Spurs? They're still performing, although they did not play well. So what do you think, man?
Yeah, so this is probably one reason why your Spurs players might not be the way to go yet. Son as a fantasy pick, he looks so off. So I don't know how long it'll take, but he is pretty much off limits at the moment for fantasy until he finds back his mojo. And even Kane, the thing is just the way that Kane is playing. he's not an out and out striker anymore. He's fetching the ball from the back a bit more, and but in terms of the defense, defense Perisic looks great. It's just a question of with how much Conte will rotate, given that Royale and Sessegnon did perform when they played in the first two, and Doherty is still there as well. So it's a big question there and a bit risk as well.
Yep, I know. But if let's say you own Perisic right now, I don't see that urgency to change him. You just keep trust in him. Okay.
Yep.
And if you have Kane, not Haaland, I still think Kane still deliver when he matters. He can still match with Haaland. He's got this goal, he got one bonus point, so nothing to dislike, man. So I feel it's just one of those. You have Haaland, you keep. You have Kane, you keep. Don't chop and change.
Yep.
Next match, Crystal Palace versus Villa, man. Villa did lead this game with Watkins and Bailey assists, but then Zaha masterclass. He scored 2 goals. Actually, he got a penalty saved by Martinez, and he scored the goal. Okay, and Mateta the third goal, assist by Edward and Michel. Zaha got the 3 bonus point. Zaha coming to remind us how effective he could be. So, what do you think, man? You're on mute, man.
Okay, can you hear me? Okay. So one thing that I think Patrick Vieira mentioned that I think midway through last season was that he needs to try to score more goals, get into better positions, and he seems to be doing that. And he is really looking good as a fantasy pick at his price. He's now back in midfield. Pick, remember, was it last season or this last season before where he was listed as a forward? So he's back as a midfielder, and he's looking really good. The attacking style of Crystal Palace is really one to watch as well. But of course, the problem is picking them aside from Zaha. There really isn't much options, because Eduardo and Mateta could easily rotate and change. So it's a bit tough there, and they don't have Gallagher as well. So if you want to pick a Crystal Palace attacker, it's got to be Zaha. But I just want to mention Villa in trouble, Gerrard's in trouble. It's not looking good for him. He's running out of time. He doesn't seem to know what his best team is, because he keep chopping and changing. It turned out when they scored first only to lose in the end. So it's getting risky, and as a result, it's probably risky to own any Aston Villa assets for now as well.
All right, good. Would like to welcome Rakan FPL to the stream. Thank you for your question. We'll attend it later. Okay. The third match we're going to touch is definitely Leicester versus Southampton. We expect high scoring game. Did not disappoint, at least. Madison keep scoring again, man. And on the Southampton side, okay, Adams on the way from bench, he scored 2 goals and he should be on our radar now. So what do you think about Leicester and Southampton?
So the thing, Leicester are just all over the place. I watched part of this match, and defense and the attack, Vardy, it's just it's chaotic. It's almost they're well, Fofana didn't play because it looks like he might move to Chelsea, but and of course the keeper issue. Of course now Ward is definitely the first choice now, though he's not much better anyway. And in terms of the attack, but then Madison, it kind of shows that even with that he can still perform. So there's some quality there. Southampton finally finding the way with Adams 2 goals, coming back into the team and immediately showing his worth. Ward-Prowse again ticking away with points, isn't he? So he only got assists, but he got 2 bonus points there, was it? Yeah. So
yep.
So although Southampton aren't great as a pick at the moment, but if you want to, JWP definitely is someone to consider if you were looking at Southampton assets.
Yep. I'll be worried lah if, especially if let's say managers have this combo, Watt and Everson at 4 million, Leicester keep continue to leaking goal. And if I quickly see the next five for Leicester: Chelsea, Manchester, Brighton, Villa, and Spurs. I
No,
can't see a lot of clean sheet there.
it was only the only reason that they weren't considered was just because of the very attractive price where you'll definitely get one playing. So, those who pick him probably didn't expect much, but then this is looking bad. It doesn't look like they'll get any, the keepers will get anything. Maybe, who knows, maybe they'll play Iverson the next match and then you can have a go and see what happens there. But it doesn't look good for them at all.
Yep. If I were them, I definitely switch to a 4.5 keeper who has different range: Sanchez, Raya, Henderson, even Pickford. So I think maybe we should go there. The next game is Fulham versus Brentford. Okay, a promoted side. Fulham did not disappoint. They got their first win at home against Brentford, 3-2. We can see that Mitrovic in the mix. He continued to score goal. Tony also both attractive, attacking. And Fulham scored late goal by Mitrovic. So what do you think, man, about this match?
Yeah. So both, both teams really playing attractive attacking football, and I'm not as we see both teams seem liable to concede. Andreas stepping in. Andreas really pulled the string on this one. I think although he only got one assist, but you can see he made off with the total of 3 bonus points there, which tells you just how which gives you an idea just how important he was to the cause. And at his price, it's very, very attractive. You can just put him. Of course, the challenge will be when to bench him, when not to bench him, because you'll most of the time there'll be a more attractive asset that you're gonna bench to put him in.
Yeah. If I see the highlight, Tony has disallowed goal. He could actually score more than one win. So
it's a lot goal.
So
Yeah, I saw that.
I think it's a good asset moving forward. We can see later Brentford fixture. There's no way or no reason not to have him if you have a space. If you have the likes of Haaland or Jesus, and the team structure like you have KDB in the midfield, so you have space for up front, which is Jesus and Tony. So just great.
That's right.
Okay, Everton versus Forest. I saw this match, really tight game. Both manager really wants to keep it tight and want to win this game. Forest got the first goal. It's a nice goal, okay, from Johnson. But then Everton did score in at the late. Pickford got an assist. Okay, so what do you think, man? I know you hate Everton, but the prospect.
Yeah, it tells you a lot that Pickford is just how Everton finally found a way goal with a long direct football and conceded towards allowing Forest to concede. But the thing is, I'd like to argue my point that I was right with Henderson, because he is still really involved. They are conceding a lot of shots, but Henderson is really a quality shot stopper, and you can see that he scored 4 points because although he didn't keep a clean sheet, but he had a lot of saves and 1 bonus point as well. He had 5 saves and 1 bonus point, so that's 2 plus 2, 4. So yeah, and if he had kept a clean sheet, it would have been double digits. So so I don't mind playing still as a backup keeper, but pick and when to choose to play him. It'll be important to figure that out. You'll still need to figure that out.
Yeah, I feel at 4.5 million keeper, Henderson could easily be the best beside Sanchez because he has the potential of save point. We know Forrest conceded a lot of shot, and then Henderson saved that. And if they keep clean sheet, like you had him game week 2, is it 14 points? So
yes,
that's how strong he can be.
Yep, that's right.
I like that. Next game, Bournemouth versus Arsenal. Arsenal, has continued to perform, and Arsenal is the only team who has 100% record in terms of winning, and they are at the top of the league. And I don't think we can ignore them at all now. We should have three assets of Arsenal. If I can say that they win 3-0, they got 2 early goals, okay, from Odegaard. Who else? Never expect that, but Saliba scored a great goal. Okay, Jesus, Martinelli in the mix in terms of assists. So I think we should grab 3 players from Arsenal, right, man?
It does look like we need to do that. Although which three? I think Martinelli and Jesus are the top two. A lot of people actually have Ramsdale.
Yeah.
So so they've locked in. So, but for those who don't have him, would you I'm not sure we will consider Saka doesn't seem to be in the mix at the moment. His positioning, unfortunately.
Saka a bit expensive, yeah.
And plus his price point is hard. Martinelli, if you don't have him, he's still, even at 6.4, he's still ridiculously underpriced for what he's doing currently. But other than that, there's Zinchenko. Yeah, Zinchenko can be considered as well. It looks like he does have a lock on that starting spot for now. But I don't know if you want to go something different and go for someone like Saliba.
Which I don't mind. I think, man, he's still priced 4.6, a little bit higher. White 4.5, Gabriel 5. So there's still decent price in backline for Arsenal if you don't go Ramsdale. So
Yep.
I like it.
Yeah. So something to consider. We want a defender, some for the clean sheet, or an attacker. So it's
I think it's like I think like balance. Jesus up front, midfield Martinelli, and someone at the back, Ramsdale or a defender, right?
I think Arsenal fans are just happy at the moment.
Yep. Let them enjoy this. Yep. Next, West Ham versus Brighton. We expect at least West Ham to win, right? They have been a strong force, especially at home, but it's not to be. Brighton continue their good performance. They win 2-0. West Ham in dire straits. They lost 3 now, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I didn't necessarily expect them to win, but I expected them to score. They're at home, so have the West Ham of last 2 seasons totally disappeared.
They did play European Conference League qualifying in midweek, so maybe that's a fact.
Yeah, maybe. But if you remember, last season they were involved in Europe as well, and Moyes was able to juggle it quite well, and with the same squad depth. So it's interesting. But then let's not take any credit away from Brighton. Brighton really looking strong at the moment. And if I remember correctly, even the upcoming fixtures are really strong. So if you managed to get Gross early, so although it was at the expense of Rashford, but I think it's still as a long term pick at the price, and definitely worth going for. And actually, to be fair, I'm looking at him at the moment because I want to take advantage of Brighton's fixtures.
Okay, so Brighton really offer value. Maybe Sanchez, maybe the likes of Dunk. You can go midfield. Trossard, he scored this game. He could actually be on the radar back. I'm a bit frustrated. McAllister take that penalty, man. When I saw Brighton got the penalty, I thought Gross was going to take it, but it's McAllister. Man. So, a bit frustrated, but at least Gross deliver an assist. Welbeck an assist. If you want a third striker, why not Welbeck? 6 million, 6.5 is still good value. I mean, so
yeah. I think the one thing holding us back with Welbeck is just his history of getting injured. But at the moment, that's going to happen anyway. So if you want to take advantage while you can, but also that does mean that Welbeck might be someone who might get rotated during this fixture congestion. So a bit of a risk there. But Gross is the way where he's playing is great positioning where he is at the moment because Brighton are playing a 3-5-2 at the moment with Trossard and March as the wing backs. So while it's good, but it does reduce Trossard's potential. But Gross is playing behind Welbeck. Yeah, although he was playing with Lallana, So, but Gross is definitely the more dangerous player. So it'd be interesting to see, and someone Brighton definitely should be considered.
All right. Next game, Leeds versus my club, Chelsea. I saw this game. It's a bit painful. Chelsea so-called like normal, have a lot of position. Then after like, I don't know what minutes there, back pass, Mendy did try to play around with the ball in the box and Ederson take advantage. I look at Leeds more determined, okay, to win. Chelsea lack of that fire. They lost 3-0. We've been punished after so-called good performance against Spurs last week. This reminds us, okay, that any team can beat anyone any day, man. So 3-0, Rodrigo perform, Harrison perform. Rodrigo got one goal and one assist. He continued to perform. Like we mentioned, man, Harrison and Rodrigo is the someone that we should monitor and get, maybe.
What's going on with Chelsea, dude? Yeah, I mean, we saw what happened last week with Conte and Tuchel getting into a tiff on the sidelines. Although he wasn't punished by having forced to watch from the stands for this one. Maybe it would have been better if he had, judging from how poor Chelsea were. But look, again, as I mentioned earlier, credit to Jesse March, the Leeds manager. He's really galvanized that team. Aronson is a great addition to the team as well. But now Harrison has moved up, has lifted up a gear, and it's credit to them. Of course, for the Chelsea players, I think a lot of us just had James maybe, but because at the moment the attacking looks nowhere.
Yeah, you won't touch. Please don't touch Havertz, Sterling, Mount, please. I know Azmin really likes Havertz right at the beginning, but then he knows that Havertz has been reclassified to forward and then gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, I think if you want to have Chelsea asset, maybe only one defender, or unless you is in a situation like me, I already have two, something to think. But next game, at least I will keep them both, then rethink again after game week 5. Newcastle versus Man City. Okay, best entertain this game. We expect a fight from Man City. Newcastle, they did give that. They lead at the point 3-1, but Man City come back 3-all. The likes of Wilson, Trippier, nice free kick. Almiron got a goal who at first judged as offside. Sam Maximin 3-6 mean. I can't recall when the last time he get that kind of a performance.
Yep.
Haaland did score. Gundogan back-to-back goal now. Fernando come back to produce. So a lot of to like from this game, man.
It's nice to see Newcastle, and the thing is, there was a lot of expectation that they're going to be bringing a lot of big money players. That hasn't really happened at the moment. At the end of the season, they're playing with pretty much the same squad that they with the purchases from the January transfer window. But it's I got to give credit to the manager. They've really took the fight to City. At one point, City it was funny watching City having to pass the ball backwards quite a bit because of the Toons pressing and the discipline. Players like Joe Linton, they really stepped up, and after this, I think Newcastle with Saint Maximin really troubled. I think Cancelo's yellow card was due to a foul on Saint Maximin, and Saint Maximin was unplayable in this match. He was everywhere, and yeah, he really took it to City. So it's a reality check for City that not everything's going to be smooth sailing. And of course, Gundogan scored. Gundogan suddenly now he's looking like the goal scorer we saw from 2 seasons ago. But Haaland finally scored as well. So, those who captained him, and at least they got a goal compared to Salah, who scored more, but still it was a goal.
Yeah, at least Newcastle going to play Wolves and then I think Liverpool on game week 6. But after that, they really have a good run. I think after that, we can rethink again on Newcastle asset, and we have another 2 weeks to at least see what's actually the best player that we should hop on for Newcastle. Last but not least, man, okay, Manchester versus Liverpool, your team, and I tried to wake up early in the morning, right, 3 a.m. to see this match because everyone has Liverpool player. Then this result comes in. We know both are not in the right frame of form. Manchester win this game, man. I don't know whether you see this match. So what's your comment?
So remember at I think it was the midweek or stream or no not the midweek. Was it the midweek stream? No, it was the weekend
Deadline,
stream.
is it?
Deadline where I mentioned that um it's both teams are under pressure, but Liverpool are in more danger. Yeah, if they lose, and they lose, they did, because questions. Obviously, there's lots of injuries, but then you can't take away the fact Liverpool did not have the same desire that Manchester United showed. So got to give credit to Manchester United. They took the game to Liverpool, but there's a lot of problems that Klopp needs to solve this time around.
Yeah, to be fair, man, Liverpool really have a lot of injuries. I mean, they're like Thiago, I think Matip, Konate. So there's a lot of issue
Not
there. Darwin
not
suspended.
yeah, not to mention Darwin. So annoying.
Yeah. So this may be one of those games, but Manchester did perform, and now Rashford and Sancho, I think, out of nowhere now come back to the frame. Elanga played this game, man. At 5 million, he could actually produce some enabler in terms of point. Martial also, I think, came from the bench and assist this. So plenty to monitor, I think, at least.
Yep. And but I think the word you're using is the correct move, which is monitor first and see whether or not this is going to continue, or is it going to be a one-off, because playing at home against Liverpool, arch nemesis. Can they maintain this during the fixture congestion? I'm not so sure. So I'm going to play the wait and see first.
Yep, I think wait and see. Okay, but the prop side is there. Welcome, Samsu Bahrain, aka Ato Bolan. Manchester win, but GGMU, I don't know what's that mean. And he's mentioned
Good game,
nasib
MU.
baik je. Nasib baik je. Harry tak main. Oh, Harry Maguire did bench in this game. Maybe that's because they win this game, man. What do you think?
Well, a lot of people were happy, and definitely, as a result, yeah, he'll definitely be benched for the next match. If they won that one, then yeah, why not?
Okay. Let's go to the next topic, which is the fixture congestion. Okay, this is courtesy from Holishan Twitter. I got his fixture from the game week 1 until game week 16 before the FIFA World Cup kickoff in November. And we can see there on the 27th of August, which is this weekend, is game week 4. And then game week 5 in midweek, man. So that's back to back, we can see. And then Champions League kickoff in game week 6. After game week 6, we can see, I think the Champions League draw will be tomorrow night, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll know how the 16 placing in terms of Champions League and also Europa League. They involve the 16, Manchester City, Manchester United, Liverpool, Chelsea, Spurs, and Arsenal. And then we definitely expect some rotation because they're going to play back to back until the international break and until the World Cup, man. So what do you think, man?
Yeah, it's quite tough because and the fixture, and let's be fair, the fixture congestion is not causing double games. It's not double game weeks.
Not double
it's
game
basically
week.
single game, and it's already planned to ensure that the World Cup goes on as planned, of course. So it'll be interesting to see. But with the Champions League rolling around coming soon, it's going to be tough. And which is something you mentioned earlier, where maybe those teams in good form like Brighton, Newcastle are the who are not involved in Europe might be the better option to go for during this. More of them.
I mean, people are also talking about when we're gonna do or activate our first wildcard soccer, because in game week 16, after game week 17 start, we will be given unlimited transfer when World Cup ends and we start back in Game Week 17. And we know the first World Cup we need to play before Game Week 16-17. So what do you think, mate? Do you actually think of when you're going to play this World Cup?
No, not really. I mean, I feel that it really is because okay, for one thing, I'm not a template type team, so I haven't really following in terms of when it's a good time to activate. So I haven't really thought of it yet. And as long as my team is looking good, I'm not too fussed yet. So, but yeah, it's still a wait and see. No thoughts at the moment.
I think if let's say we want to do, a lot of managers talking about trigger in Game Week 9 after international break could be the right time, and maybe we can see some fixture swing after Game Week 9, which team to target. I think maybe that could be potentially the logical time to do. Maybe. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Let's go touch on what to do with Liverpool players, man. As we can see in terms of league table, okay, Liverpool now at the 16th place because they drew twice and lost one game against Manchester United. So this is the reality. So people are talking whether having 3 Liverpool players is the right way moving forward. Okay, so I take some stats from Football Scout in terms of team stats. Liverpool, we're talking about attacking at least. I have 2 tables there, attacking and also defending. In terms of attacking goals scored, they rank 10 from the 20 team. Okay, so in terms of goal, they're still okay in the middle, 10. Okay, attempts on goal, they're actually second after Man City, if I'm not mistaken. And chances created also, they are second. So they still created and attempts goal. They're still high. Expected goal, they're number 7. And penalty box touches, they're still first, man. So what do you think about attacking in terms of Liverpool? They're still good, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's tough, isn't it? I think we expected a haul against Manchester United. Well, we expected hauls in the past first 3 matches, and it hasn't happened yet. Even though stats wise they still, penalty box touches they're the first, so it shows a lot of inefficiency there. But at the same time, on the defensive side, they're conceding quite a bit, and there's a lot of Van Dijk is not in form at the moment, so it's a bit tough to watch. So TAA still hasn't returned yet, I think.
Yep.
Yeah. So he started off with contributing in the Charity Shield, Community Shield, but hasn't done much since. So the question now is where Liverpool are concerned. Okay, most people will have either Salah, TAA, and either Diaz or Robertson. I think that's the obvious combo, most combo. Maybe there's some Van Dijks as well, but it's mostly Diaz or Robertson, and it's purely for the attacking threat. So Salah is definitely still a keep, I would think. Yeah, because he can still he does have the ability to create something out of nothing. Yeah, so Salah is still there, but TAA, Diaz, and Robertson questions have to be asked. For example, if you had TAA and Robertson, is it still worth to keep both players, given they have yet to keep a clean sheet and attacking returns? Neither have really had any attacking returns yet either. So if I were, I would sell one of them. Which one? That's a tough one. Neither are performing well at the moment. If you need more funds, then probably sell TAA. And at least until their form starts picking up again. At the moment, it's not looking good as an FPL investment.
Okay, as you touch,
sorry.
Okay, as you touch, I got stats top 5 for Liverpool players. Nunes, I actually sort by total attempts. Okay, in terms of goals, Salah got 2 goals, Nunes 1, and Diaz 1. I think 4 goals are scored by Liverpool so far. Okay. Total attempt, Nunes is the first, but Salah is still there in terms of 8 attempts. Okay, shot in the box, both tied. Nunes did suspended because of the red card. He will miss for the next 2 games because he did not play against Manchester United. In terms of big chances, Nunes the top, but you can see the penalty charges. Salah still the top. So Salah, I feel the one that you need to have. The other two is depend on your team. But we can see season manager already shift. If they have early season Robertson, they already shifting to Diaz.
Yep. But okay, so you'd have to wonder what would happen if Nunes hadn't been sent off, because if you look at that in only roughly 100 minutes of play, 45 minutes of the first match and 60 plus of the second match before he was sent off. So only 100 minutes left, one match and a bit, of play, and he's topping the stats in big chances, in total attempts, shots inside the box. So the only thing is the penalty touches, which when you only played 100 minutes, it's not surprising. But why is he topping the stats? When he's only played 100 minutes compared to everyone else. So it's definitely concerning. Robertson nowhere to be found here at the moment. So as well, I would prepare. I don't know. We'll have to see what to do. But because most people who had Nunes will have probably sold Nunes, which is fair. I did the same. But Diaz is still getting a lot of penalty touches in the box. He seems to be the forward midfielder alongside Salah, because Firmino he's definitely doesn't seem to be a goal threat anymore. And okay, so Robertson I would definitely sell, but Diaz, I at the moment it seems like there are better options, the better performers, until Liverpool find the groove back. Because until Liverpool find the groove back, still having three Liverpool players seems too much at this point.
Okay, I think we already touched a bit. Everyone, if we still have Liverpool player, it's something to monitor at least this game. It's an intriguing one. Later we touch on the fixture. We'll see how it goes in Game 4, and then we can rethink again when the congestion come in. Could they be rotation prospect, or if they perform, maybe we still keep them. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what's next is actually the Gameweek 4 fixture. All right. Let me put here. Okay. Who's playing who in Gameweek 4? We take a look. I think the big six so-called are not playing each other. Okay. So the first opening game for Gameweek 4 will be Southampton versus Manchester United at 7:30 p.m. on Saturday. Okay, so we know the deadline will be on Saturday, not Friday. And then 5 games at 10 p.m. Brentford versus Everton. Okay, Everton really need point, but Brentford strong at home. Brighton Leeds, this is an interesting one, man. I think this could easily be the game, even though it's not high profile. Brighton and Leeds, they are both performing. They are on 7 points now, both of them. They're really in good form. Okay. Chelsea, Leicester, because Leicester really in dire and Chelsea really need points. So I think there maybe Chelsea will win this game. Liverpool versus Bournemouth. Liverpool also need to win this game. Bournemouth not really keeping a lot of clean sheet, and they're conceding big points again, big goals again, City and also Arsenal. Man City versus Palace is going to be tight. Palace has been performing. City also not really flying. Okay. And then we have Arsenal versus Fulham. We expect Arsenal to continue win games. They are 100% record of winning against Fulham in terms of big chances. They also really on giving chances to team to score. Villa versus West Ham, both really not good form. Villa and West Ham, they both definitely want to win this game. Wolves versus Newcastle, and then Forest versus Spurs, which is, I like that game, man. There's prospect could be a short win for Forest if Spurs are not careful. So what do you think about Gameweek 4 fixture?
Right. So obviously the biggest standout is Liverpool Bournemouth. Bournemouth are looking like the worst team at the moment, but then Liverpool aren't exactly flying high either. But at Anfield, I would expect Liverpool to win against Bournemouth, which is why people might still look at holding on to their 3 Liverpool assets. But Arsenal versus Fulham, I think this game might be a bit more tricky, not as straightforward as as it may seem, because I think Fulham do have a way of finding a way under Marco Silva. He's definitely instilled a never say die attitude in the Fulham team. But it'll be interesting watch. I mean, there will definitely be goals. Yeah, I think for Arsenal, just whether or not they can win that. Other than that, yeah, Chelsea versus Leicester. Yeah, I don't know. Both teams are hopeless as well at the moment, so it could be anyone's game. If I were to look at white, I would say Manchester City should win comfortably over Crystal Palace, and Spurs will probably win comfortably over Forest as well. Yeah, so those are the games that if you have assets there or thinking of assets there, that's the where I would go. Because let's face it, with Arsenal, you probably already have at least 2 attacking assets. With Liverpool, you already have 2 or 3 assets. But if you want to add somewhere, then maybe Spurs, whether it's Perisic or Kulusevski, not Son.
Not Son, yeah.
Those are not, but those are the options. But Brentford, Everton, yeah. So Everton still without a striker, aren't they? So
and they could lose Gordon, I think. If let's say
yeah, they
Gordon.
lose Gordon, then what's left? I mean, but obviously, but I read somewhere that financially they are in a bit of strife. That's why they haven't, been too aggressive in the transfer window. But then if they just selling and not buying, yeah, then that's destined for the drop. It seems to be a challenge between Gerrard and Lampard as to which of them might get sacked first. These legends in England for football. Not cutting it as managers at the moment.
I can see Tony scored in that game. Brentford was so definitely a good prospect for you.
Yeah. The most interesting match here would be Brighton versus Leeds, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
2 teams in good form under some good managing, right? The managers. It could be anyone's game. Could be. I think there'll be goals both ways, but yeah, it depends on.
We'll see whether the likes of Rodrigo Harrison can perform again, or is it Gross or Welbeck match. So it's definitely interesting for me to see that game.
Looking forward to that.
Yep. Okay. Next is the captain pick. We touch a bit in terms of who's the best pick for game week 4. And from Football Scout poll, we can see managers still siding Salah. Okay, no surprise, he did scored the highest point in game week 3, and he's going to play against Bournemouth, who have been leaking goals. 63% has voted the Egyptian midfielder as the best captain for this week. But Jesus, okay, could be another good pick. I think Arsenal versus Fulham, 12%. And then Haaland at 8% against Palace. I think that's a tougher opponent comparing to Fulham and Bournemouth. Tony is another one, okay, against Everton, like you mentioned. Could he be really, really dark horse pick for this week? And Kane against Forest, who, as you know, Kane, Mr. Consistency. So what do you think, Ming? What about this pick for game week 4?
I'm not. Yeah. Well, I can see why Captain Salah is there, but it could be easily be between Salah, Jesus, and Haaland. The only thing that winning is the fact that Salah is listed as a midfielder, and that's probably why. Because I think any of the 3 can score 2 or more goals.
Yep. If we're talking about form of team, Arsenal has the best form, so-called, and we should not be worrying Jesus doing something against Arsenal, against Fulham. The Liverpool part, we know Salah are going to perform, but Liverpool's form is something that we are concerned a bit. But Bournemouth is the opponent. So that's if Liverpool was a Palace, I'll be worried to captain Salah a bit. But Bournemouth could be the safest pick. But Jesus could be potentially more explosive. What do you think, man?
Yeah. So I will probably stay on Salah myself. But yeah, I think anyone's game there.
Yep. I just pop up Rakan FPL question. Jesus captain to climb rank this week. I think so. A lot of managers will go safer pick Salah. But Jesus, if let's say you perform and be explosive, he could be the way for you to climb rank. I feel so, mate.
Okay. Oh, not sure. It's a London derby, by the way. So
Okay.
yeah, the potential is there.
All right, man. We run through a bit on the fixture ticker. So we can see there Brentford and Leeds is the top two best team in terms of fixture from Gameweek 4 to Gameweek 9. Brentford have Everton, Crystal Palace, Leeds, Southampton, Arsenal somewhere there in 8, but Bournemouth in Gameweek 9. Leeds, after Chelsea, they really have really good fixture. Brighton, Everton, Brentford, Forest, Manchester, so-called is not really difficult if when talking about form right now. And Villa, Man City, as we know, Arsenal there. Brighton in the mix in 5th, even though they have Liverpool in Game Week 9, which is still away. So what do you think, man?
Okay, so Brentford at the top there. If you look at the Everton at home, okay, Crystal Palace away is like a bit top, but then Leeds at home, Southampton away. Yeah, so the first four is well, 6. You know, if you skip Arsenal, then Bournemouth after that is all that you can see why they're at the top. So those who have, well, I have Tony, so I'm really happy that I jumped in early. And you definitely can profit. But of course, Tony is the only real pick, aren't we, from Brentford? We're not really the Wissars and the Umbremos of this world aren't really being considered. And plus the fact that Brentford concede as well, so they're not looking for. And they did lose the last match 3-2, so that vein might still be the same for this stretch. Leeds, yeah. So we saw how impressive Leeds were. They kept a clean sheet against Chelsea. But to be fair, I would say it's more to Chelsea being all over the place. Yeah, I don't think in terms of Chelsea's attack is just all over the place. I don't think that'll be that great. Leeds have a tough first match in game week 4 against Brighton away. Brighton that have kept clean sheets and looking really, really solid at the moment. But then after that, it's Everton, Brentford, Forest, Manchester United, Villa. So after this game week, then maybe if you don't have Rodrigo yet, maybe you'll get him in, but probably not for game week 4, but game week 5 onwards, something to plan for. City, it's hard for us to bring any more City players if you probably already have Haaland and at least one City defender. So, but you're looking at the line of fixtures. It's 4 home matches and 2 away matches, which is Villa against Wolves, which isn't that great. So the only tough match there looks like the Spurs match. But other than that, it should be smooth sailing for City.
Okay, touch a bit on the bottom 5 or 4 teams in terms of fixture ticker. We got Fulham there. Even though Mitrovic keeps scoring, but fixture are tough. Arsenal, Brighton, Spurs and Chelsea in the next 4. So I'm not sure whether you want to invest in Mitrovic. Tony is better. Villa.
Yeah, so in that bottom 5, of course, the Rashford which you sold, for example, but then Manchester United still don't have a great run of fixtures, although Southampton and Leicester aren't that bad. Fulham, I guess those who already have Mitrovic, I mean, it's probably not looking to sell him anyway. Those who don't have him probably won't bring him in yet, considering they face Arsenal, Brighton, and Spurs, who are the top form at the moment, relatively compared to other teams. Yeah, so you won't bring him in, but if you have Mitrovic, you'll probably still play him. Villa, definitely a sell to those who still have a Bailey or Watkins. It's not looking good for them. Fixture-wise is bad. Their form is out as well. Wolves, people have Neto. And Newcastle is not an easy match at all. We've seen Newcastle. After that, it's okay, Bournemouth, Southampton, and sorry to say Liverpool. but which are currently looking like good matchups at the moment, and even West Ham. Crystal Palace, yeah. So Zaha may have scored 2 goals, but it's hard for us to bring him in at this point, considering the next play they face Manchester City. And I don't like it because they also play Newcastle after, but maybe after that. And City, Newcastle, and Brighton. So those are the 3 sides that I will be wary of for Crystal
Okay.
Palace, which is the reason I'm not looking to bring in Zaha.
All right. Okay. So I think that's in terms of fixture ticker. And we go, I think, our transfer plan, Min. So let's see your team.
So
So
for
what's your plan?
yeah, so for me it's all about selling either Bailey or Gumares. So Gumares may not be the optimal Newcastle pick. It might be ASM. So I'm trying to decide between ASM or Gross, or even Welbeck. I can afford him. I can just sell
Do you
Greenwood
have
for
money? Is
Welbeck.
it you have money in the bank?
I do. I think I have about 2 units in the bank. Yeah, so
Ooh.
it's easy flexi because I sold Darwin, who cost a full unit over Jesus. So yeah, I already had money in the bank previously, so I can flex. So those are the and Zaha I briefly considered, but I probably not. So it looks like it's going to be between those 3 players, Brighton or going for ASM. But to be fair, Newcastle has tough, but then Newcastle look good, so that's probably why I'm still considering him.
And we expect they should have better minutes compared to the big 6 team. Okay, Newcastle or
Yeah.
Brighton. So that's another plus point, I think. And you already have Tony. If you want to go well back, you have money and you can go there also. But as you
Yep.
mentioned, well back in terms of minutes when fixtures are coming thick and fast, maybe a concern. I think Mope is still there. I'm not sure whether he's rumored to go somewhere, Forest or something. So
Yeah, Mope is not really. Yeah, he wants to leave, and and Brighton are doing well without him, so he's not going to get a look in.
it's just between the new striker Undaf, is it? So maybe Welbeck and Undaf will play within this
Yeah, but
fixture.
yeah. So yeah. So Gross, whom you already have, is definitely someone I'm looking at bringing in instead.
Okay, right, man. For my team, I'm gonna hold my transfer. As you know, as
Nice.
boring as me, as conventional, as old school, you can see it. I think my team is great. You can see, man. I didn't realize it, but all my 11 players are playing home this week.
Oh,
Raya in
nice.
goal, a home to Everton. And then TAA, Cancelo, James, and Cucurella all play at home against Bournemouth, Crystal Palace, and Leicester. I got Salah there, home to Bournemouth. Luis Diaz also. Gross against Leeds at home. It's going to be an intriguing match. Martinelli against Fulham at home. Haaland and Jesus at home. Crystal Palace and Fulham. I think I'm not going to make any change. And I think it's crucial. I have a free transfer going to Gameweek 5 in midweek. If let's say we know some players are injured or missing or potential rotation, I could do a switch. I also think about Luis Diaz. If let's say he did not perform against Bournemouth, he could be the one to go out and find me. This could be an interesting players to come in, man. Rodrigo, downgrade to Rodrigo, and I upgrade my Greenwood to Tony. Wow, I like that, man. What do you think? But it's
Uh,
Game 5.
who would you bench?
We are talking about future plan. This week,
Okay,
but
okay,
if let's
okay.
say in future, I could have an option to transfer, downgrade Luis Diaz to Rodrigo, so-called Leeds have interesting and favorable fixture, and we know Brentford also have favorable fixture. I could upgrade Greenwood to Tony. I can have Salah, Rodrigo, Gross, Martinelli, Haaland, Jesus, Tony. Wow, there's a lot of plenty of way that I can get points and then keep my backline is the same.
No,
So
it's nice because there are plenty of viable fantasy picks out there that are very competitively priced. Like Gross, like Saint Maximin. Plus,
yep,
like ASM being reclassified as a midfielder definitely makes him a
yep.
lot more attractive. So yeah, the sky's the limit. There's plenty of options available.
Right, Min. So that's my team. Let's go to some of the question posted to us, Min. Okay, we start off with Halim Rahman, who actually posts, I played 5-3-2 formation, big at the back with double Liverpool, double Chelsea defense plus Cancelo, double Liverpool. I expect like TAN Robertson there. A little bit disappointed. Luckily, Salah cheers me a bit. Min, what do you think? The five at the back still the way to go?
Okay. Rothian. I like to call him Rothian because that's
Okay.
his username in fantasy football starting 11. But yeah, I think we just been a bit unlucky with this. I think I looked at the stats somewhere where I think it was the top 10. All these defenders all scored 0 or 1, and the total score among all of them was like 3 points or something. So and they're also expensive as well. So this is a week where the big at the back formation just didn't happen. But it's it's not really a cause for panic. I don't think we'll see weeks like this happen that much. So yeah, it's just both Liverpool and Chelsea and City all conceding more than two or three goals, on the same week, which blows your mind. Having said that, yeah, the double Liverpool, something to monitor whether it's still viable. Cancelo, obviously, well, he did score 0, but he's he's just not as attacking as he used to be. This compared to the previous season, so I'm not sure whether that's me. But and Chelsea defense, I assume one of them is James. I'm not sure who your other, maybe is Cucurella. Who I think you brought Cucurella in last game week.
Yep, I gone with the bandwagon. A lot of managers bring him in to replace the like of Robertson, downgrade Robertson to Cucurella and upgrade to Luis Diaz in midfield. That's the trending last week.
Yep. So a lot of people came to a conclusion that Cucurella looks gonna be important because he was bought in 1 week and immediately played the week after. However, after today's the last weekend's performance, you're gonna start to wonder whether Chilwell just gets back in. Yeah. But then obviously with this fixture congestion, it's bound to happen. But Chilwell, we know that when Chilwell and James played, Chelsea's defense was stronger. Yeah. So we'll see how Tuchel mixes it up. We'll have to wait on for the press conference.
I feel 5-3-2 is still viable. We'll see this week. It could change the complexion, man. Because if let's say Liverpool keep clean sheet against Bournemouth, Chelsea keep sheet against Leicester, and attacking return, suddenly it turns way around.
Yeah, it's a different game. Yeah, it's a different story.
Rakan FPL question: Tony versus Everton or Watkins versus West Ham? I think this easy answer, man.
Yeah, I'd avoid the claret and blue teams, which is West Ham and Aston Villa. God knows what's going on over both teams. So Tony versus Everton, easy pick for me. You're right.
Yep, I like Tony. No question asked. Next, does Silva play or bench against Everton? I'm not sure. Did he start last game? I'm not sure. What do you think, man?
Yeah, because he did score, I think, in the previous game week. But yeah, I think, yeah, definitely. If you already have him, because your question is play or bench, so I'm assuming you already have him. So if you have him, then yes, definitely field him. Yeah.
Yeah, he played 73 minutes. 73 minutes against Fulham. It looks like his first choice right now after he actually scored the first game coming from the bench, and he starts game against Manchester. He scored that game, so he's continued to perform. But we know his minutes is been managing a lot of preferred players are fighting for places.
Yeah.
And he's at 4.6, so nothing to worry or disgruntled if let's say he did not perform. But I feel against Everton, he has really good chance of doing something.
Yes. Everton are third. Okay.
All right. Next question: Kane versus Forest or Haaland versus Crystal Palace? So it's a choice between those two. What do you think, man? Either both is good, right?
Haaland at home and Palace.
Yep.
I think that, yeah.
Okay. I'm not sure whether this a question whether to captain Kane or Haaland, but if they say if between just those two playing at home, Crystal Palace, although Forest is in terms of shot considered they are top, Kane is definitely can easily score higher points, but always choose a home team, right, man?
Yeah, the home team. Although, you have Kane and Haaland in your team, and Haaland, the two of them. So, yeah.
Maybe something have premium, right? So Kane and Haaland could be in the team.
Yeah.
Ishan Darwan asking about our rank, like we mentioned early of the stream. I'm ranked at 192,000, main at around 1 million
1 million.
placing.
Yeah.
But man, I just checked. What is the gap between us in terms of points? You know what? We only 17 points separated, and that kind of rank.
17 points. 1-7.
I'm at 192,000. You're at 1 million plus, and the gap is really close. So nothing to worry.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's still early. As long as you're not falling off totally with having totally wrong picks, you can stay the course for now. It's only after the 5th or 6th game weeks, then you can really see some differentiation in rank depending on where you're at. Yeah, but there's still going to be a lot of teams bunched together, and again, it's still early days to make conclusions.
Yeah. Next question: With Koulibaly suspended, he's been red-carded against Leeds United. Will Tuchel feel Chilwell with Cucurella play at left centre back? I feel so. There's an option that Tuchel can venture, means that Thiago Silva as Piliqueta or James at the centre back on the right side, Cucurella on the left side, and play Chilwell in the wing back. So that could be an option, and we can see Chilwell looks like fit to play, and he could start this game against his ex-club, Leicester, man.
Yeah, the thing is, Chilwell feels so attractive, and if I had space, I'd put him in a heartbeat. But then it's just one match where I think he'll blow up the stadium against Leicester. But it's again that because of the rotation issue, I'm not sure whether it's worth it, considering the next match he might end up be getting benched. Yeah, but I can see him definitely performing against Leicester.
All right. Next question from Rakan FPL again. Che Adam, you like him, right? Versus Manchester, good punt. He scored 2 games, previous game.
Yeah, but Manchester have got their tails up at the moment. They're chuffed at beating their arch nemesis Liverpool. So I wouldn't go for it. Southampton, I'm still, obviously Che Adams is important to the cause, but I'd still only look at GWP if I wanted.
Yeah.
I
agree. Mr. South, I don't know who posted this, man. Put in a plan to transfer Darwin in once available. Oh, okay.
Well, the thing with this is that, we just what we saw earlier, Darwin's underlying stats are just really, really strong in terms of attacking. But of course, he's not gonna. He's game week 3, game week 4, game week 4 and 5. He'll only come in game week 6. So yeah, you can plan for it, but yeah, it's still too early. But for who? Then you'd have to sell someone like Jesus, I guess, which might be a tough one. So you have to look at it.
It's going to be tough once, if let's say you have front three, Haaland, say Jesus and Tony, say, if you can afford. It's going to be tough to replace any one of them.
Yep. Yeah, it'll be tough. Be interesting.
Yep. Okay. Next question from CR Picks. Pete, best wildcard time. I did mention that the logical plan or other season managers did mention, the top managers did mention game week 9 after international break could be the right time to use, optimal time, not use too late or too early. But if let's say you have really your team are in dire street like now, I think you could use now and get all these so-called strong or template players to come in. What do you think, man?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, as long as you're not having real injury issues, then you can play it safe and wait it out. Yeah, and especially once there will be a time when suddenly lots of players are unavailable or too tired from the international break. That's when you can pick it up as a wild card.
Okay. Last question. In term of XG considered, actually Bournemouth is better than Fulham. Okay. Even then Bournemouth considered more goals than Fulham. Still Salah over Jesus captain? Oh, so this talking about captain pick me. Jesus over Salah. And they're talking about
obviously the extra 2 points of a goal, one extra point for a goal and the possibility of a clean sheet means that Salah scoring will get more than Jesus performing. But I know that XG considered Bournemouth is better, but Bournemouth will be playing away to Liverpool, and I think Liverpool really need a win. So this is and not just a win, but a really convincing win, because this is against a promoted side. So they were expected to win big time against Fulham, didn't happen. So now they're playing Fulham. Now they're playing Bournemouth, which is why I think that they'll need the win to a solid, strong win to get the fans back in believing. So yeah, I definitely still go for Salah. I guess you could argue there's a psychology thing in it as well. So it's no longer just a stats thing, but the need for Liverpool to win this one is, especially after losing to Man U, has suddenly become even more important than ever.
Okay. Last question from Halim Rahman. Double defenders from same team. Are they good option? Main, what do you think? Having 2 City or 2 Liverpool, 2 Chelsea, still have some value, right, Min?
I don't know. But no, it's not looking good at the moment. I guess I don't have any my double defense is Forest. But yeah, don't yeah. So no, I don't think they're a good option at the moment. I think right now, especially if you have 3 Liverpool players, 2 Liverpool defenders, you probably want to get rid of at least one of them.
All right, man. I think we come to the end of the show, and before we go, I'd like to remind to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and if you like this stream, please hit the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel to receive early notification whenever we are live. Normally we're going to live in midweek, like this Wednesday night, and then on deadline stream, whether it's on Friday night or early Saturday morning, those are the time. And we also like to invite you all to join our league, okay, Jedi League, which is the league code is down there, you can see, and you could join us and see our teams, how we perform. So, Min, your last word.
All the best. Again, just bear in mind, whatever it is, this is where there'll be a bit of fixture congestion. So it's not double game weeks, but it's just, I mean, even like, for example, Haaland, although no way we're going to bench him, but Pep did mention that, for example, that he may only play once a week, which means that in the event of fixture congestion, he's not going to play, or at the very least, he's not going to start. But I don't think the fixture congestion is enough for us to worry about in terms of selling players. I would think that if you want to get rid of a player, it'll be those who are injury suspect, who are easily injured. Yeah. So other than that, just stay the course and don't panic. Game week 3. Hope you're not just rushing to activate wildcards or transfer. I think it's still too early.
All right. Take care, guys. Hopefully we see again in our deadline stream and to update the team news and definitely quotes from managers. Thank you for joining our stream. We see you again. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.